So let's talk about blue puddles. Blue puddles are micro segments of the wider market that you can probably show up for if you were to aim your firepower at it. The reason that I talk about blue puddles is because blue puddles work really well with AI visibility because they are quite contextual, just like the conversations that are happening in AI systems right now. According to McKinsey, 70% of the conversations that happen in AI-powered environments are top funnel. Now, this is important because when we were optimizing for search engines, a lot of what we did was trying to show up in the top 10 results or the top 5 results or the top 3 results for these wide top funnel searches. These didn't translate into revenue. They just got people into your ecosystem, right? Reading your articles, following you on social media. The other thing that we did a lot was we looked at what our competitors were ranking for. What are they showing up for? Like, what kind of words are they bidding on? Words and terms are they bidding on for their ads? That's not necessarily the best way to go about it with AI visibility. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because when it comes to AI systems, it's not an exact match. It's a trust game. And typically, if you're coming in as a contender, AI systems have a tendency to default to their training data and incumbents that they already trust. So it's a harder game to play when you're trying to move into somebody's territory and unseat them from being the best of whatever in an AI like in an AI environment. Here's a better play. I'm also always harping on first-party data. And the reason I do that is because inside of your first party data, those conversations that happen with your sales team are a bunch of little nuances that people say in their conversation. It is the best place to figure out what trends are emerging in your industry as far as what your ICP actually wants, or what they're going to want next, or what they're going to need next. When you have that information, exactly what your ICP is saying, what language they're using, what their pain points are, how they're pivoting, if they're spending less money than they were 2 quarters ago, or are they spending more money? When you have that language and when you understand their pain points, what they're asking for versus the gaps that they're trying to fill versus what their ultimate intent is, you can compare that to what your competitors are saying and find the empty space. Meaning you can find the things that your ICP is asking for that your competitors aren't doubling down on yet. And that is your blue puddle. Now, blue puddles are important because AI systems are very contextual. Google just put out a report today, I think, on their AI mode. And they said that the number of words they use to ask questions in AI mode is like 3 or 4 times what they would use to ask questions, in a regular Google query. That's important. The other thing is that of the top 5 terms, like the top 5 first words that show up in prompts in AI mode, the word I is one of the top 5. Meaning that people are coming into AI mode with themselves and their situations, their specific situations on their mind. And then they're talking to the machine with that context like front loaded into the conversation. This is an I conversation. This is a conversation about what I'm going through specifically. Here's the thing that I think we need to remember. A lot of times what's happening in those conversations in AI environments or AI powered environments, those are messier version of the questions that get asked, cleaned up, in the light of day in sales calls. So if you understand what's happening in your sales calls, if you're mining that first party data, then you have a pretty solid proxy for what actually is happening later in the evening or the night before or the week before in AI powered environments, which means that you have everything that you need to figure out where your part of the market can be as far as showing up in AI visibility tools. So yes, absolutely. Do the work that you need to do to optimize for search engines and show up in those top funnel searches. But instead of competing, it's smarter to go in understanding that you are going after several micro markets, not one big top funnel thing, because those are going to be competitive and they're going to go to trusted sites. And if you're coming in as a contender, it's going to be an uphill battle. But if you're coming in talking about something that your competitors aren't yet talking about, something that you're actually hearing in sales calls, then it's a safe bet that those conversations are happening to with a small part of your market in AI systems as well. So find multiple blue puddles. They are mid and bottom funnel gold, and you don't have to compete for top funnel positioning and appearance in conversations in AI systems that aren't really going to convert into revenue for your business in the immediate future. I hope this helps.